Ever feel like your mood swings with the weather? Well, let's talk about how to make the rainy season in Portland, Oregon feel a little bit brighter. Hey everybody, my name's Aaron Cullen. This is Brianna Cullen. Together, we own a real estate company right here in Portland, Oregon. Now, if you're thinking about moving here, go ahead and reach out. You can book a Zoom call right down there in the description area.
My mood definitely swings with the weather, so today I'm breaking out all the strategies on how to keep your good cheer year-round.
Let's go.
So I think I might be like abnormally preoccupied with the weather. I check my weather app multiple times a day. And if I'm gonna travel somewhere, I add that location to my weather app and I start checking their weather.
I'm guilty as charged too.
I add the daily weather to my planner. Like when I plan my week, I look at what's the forecast gonna be and I add the forecast to my planner, and I plan our family meals.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I plan our family meals based on what the weather's gonna be, because like grilling and soup call for very different forecasts.
This is true.
And sometimes like I'll meet a friend somewhere and she's wearing like very inappropriate shoes and I think like, didn't you check the weather right before you left the house? But probably she's just more willing to sacrifice comfort for style than I am.
That's true.
But here in Portland at this time of year, I really start wondering like, what kind of fall are we going to have? When is it gonna start raining? How cold and wet and dark is the winter gonna be? How soon is spring gonna come? I wonder all these things. And so I have a lot of tips for how to get through this rainy season with your good cheer intact. And some of them are a little more involved and some of them are just like quick and easy.
This is gonna be a fun video. So if you wanna know all about great tips to enjoy the fall in the rainy season, this is it.
Okay, so the first tip is have people over more.
Yes.
If you have people over to your house, you don't even have to go out in the rain. We had some friends over for our son's birthday last weekend and it was pouring rain. I never even left the house that day, I realized the next day, but I felt completely connected and like cozy and just like an all-around great day.
Yeah.
Because we had people over. We also had people over the next night for dinner, 2 different groups of friends. And the truth is like have people over for coffee or a play date or to roast marshmallows and make s'mores in your fireplace. Your friends really don't care if your house is messy or you know, like they really, or if you're not a good cook, like nobody cares.
But it helps us to do that last minute cleanup. So it is nice to invite friends over, because if you're kind of procrastinating on cleaning your house, picking up all the toys, it gets you that quick 30-minute, you know, super cleanup. And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Aaron does projects that like I've been asking him to do for weeks right before someone's gonna come over.
And then boom, they get done.
It's done. The other thing is the more you host, the more natural it feels and the easier it gets. So like if you're not used to having people over, then it feels kind of stressful. But if you just do it all the time, it just feels a lot easier. And I think it's really one of the keys to enjoying like the winter season.
Yeah, and make it a regular thing. You know, whether it's like every other Sunday or Saturday or every weekend. You know, make it a thing with a certain, you know, with a group of people, and maybe it's even people you want to get to know a little better. That's one of the great things about moving somewhere you don't know a lot of people. Just, you know, put yourself out there, start inviting people. Next, wear the right gear and get outside. Now, this is very, very important. If you've been watching some of my videos, you've probably heard us saying this before, but to really enjoy the Portland weather year-round, you want to have the right clothing, and that means have a great little rain jacket, have a nice light winter jacket here like I'm wearing right here, and you know, really have those layers. So you could have a big swing where it could be chilly in the morning and you get a little warmer later in the day, or if you're out for a hike, you know, this jacket would get way too warm for me, you know, even though it's like, you know, low 50s right now. You get pretty warm when you're out there walking around. So, and check out the weather. Is it gonna be raining today? Today it's not raining at all, so I don't need my rain jacket. You get some rain boots, especially for the kids. Like kids love to get outside, play around, muck around in the dirt. So get them some rain boots that they can just get wet, some rain pants, a little rain jacket. It's really all about the layers, so you feel good and it's easy just to like go outside for a walk and a hike, even if it's just a light rain. because a lot of the times for the rain that we get here in the Portland area, it's just going to be a light little drizzle. You know, it's not a full on, you know, heavy rain. Most of the rain days are just going to be these light little drizzles. So just be prepared for it.
And if you need a tip on kids' rain boots, put a message down below and I'll tell you which ones that we get, because they're warm and we hand them down from one kid to the other. They like last forever. And these are the things that you really need so that your kids are happy to be outside. I also am not above like packing homemade cookies to like entice our kids outside in, you know,
works wonders.
The colder or wetter weather, and then they have so much fun once they're out. But sometimes you need that like little extra motivation.
Yeah. You know, kids, sometimes they just get in their mood and they do not want to go outside.
And neither do I sometimes. Like,
give them that little incentive and they're like, oh, okay, let's go.
A couple of the other things that go along with this tip is, I think of it as like being more Scandinavian. I think the Swedish say there's no bad weather, only the wrong gear. And they also have all these rituals around being cozy. So that like hygge word about like creating coziness. They also hygge. They also have the Swedish have I think it's fika, which is a coffee ritual with friends, like just having friends over for a coffee and a treat. I think like the Swedish or the Scandinavian countries, I think the Danish drink more coffee per capita than anywhere else in the world, because they have those dark, wet winters, a lot like here. And I'm totally on board with drinking a lot more coffee during the winter season.
And Portland does not have a shortage of good coffee places. I'm talking about great coffee places. Now, the new coffee trend is to do lighter, brighter coffees rather than the darker roasts. Yeah, she told me that. But I mean, that's what you're just going to find. A lot of the really good Portland coffee shops now is they're doing these lighter, medium roast.
Yeah, and it's like a little fruitier. The flavor is more just interesting than like a burnt coffee flavor.
Yeah, and I love coffee, but you really start to notice the difference in having the different textures when it isn't such a dark roasted coffee, because it just doesn't have that burnt taste, you know, which, hey, I'm not knocking it. I love that coffee for a long time, but now I really appreciate the textures and the different flavors of that lighter roast.
Look at you.
Maybe I am becoming a Portlander. Next, you could install a play wall if you have kids. Now, we did this last year as a Christmas gift for both kids, and we have kind of a flex room that we've turned into a playroom. And we also have a couch that pulls out if we have guests come over. Now, one wall is just this play structure, and you can climb on part of it, has a net on part of it, has a monkey bars on part of it, and it has a swing and some hoops so you can hang from it. And the kids absolutely love it.
And we also got one of those like convertible kids couches that go underneath it, where they can put it in different configurations. So between that wall and then the couch that they like drag all the way around the house to build different kinds of like blanket and pillow forts, because your kids need exercise inside and outside during the winter to keep their moods lifted as well, and to not like bounce off the walls and drive you crazy. So if you have the room, some kind of like area for active play for the kids inside is huge.
Yeah, it is huge. And they love it. And a lot of they even notice they're getting into certain rituals, like Juliet, like right after dinner, a lot of times she'll go in there and go on the swing for like 10, 15 minutes. And then Asher, her younger brother, will go in there and just play on the ground with some toys.
Yeah, and they have like games like she swings and he throws her a ball and she kicks it. Like it, you know, they have like these rhythms and stuff.
Yeah, and it just gives them that like physical thing to do, whether it's just like climbing on things, hanging on things, you know. And
whenever they have a friend over, like the first thing they do is take them into the playground, and you see the kids like jaw drop when they see that wall. And it was not like a super fancy custom thing. We just like ordered it pre-made, and it was totally worth it.
Yep, there you go. And I installed it myself. I'm not super handy, just handy enough to get in trouble.
It was a slightly stressful Christmas Eve because we wanted to unveil it on Christmas morning.
Yeah, she wanted to unveil it. I was like, this is a multi-day project.
We did it and it was amazing.
Yeah, they loved it.
Your kids need that exercise in the winter. I think getting even more exercise, if you can, for me personally, in the fall and winter is hugely helpful, because for me, exercise is mostly like a mental health mood lifter. Yeah. And when you don't have as much sunlight and vitamin D and like the blue sky to cheer you up, you have to generate your own like good brain chemistry.
Yeah, and this is a perfect day that we're doing this. As you can see, it's, you know, kind of socked in just, you know, this thin layer of clouds out here today, but it is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, you know, and we're here on a trail that you can see here behind us that goes around a farm that was donated to a city. This is Lusher Farm outside of, well, a part of Lake Oswego. But I love coming out here, so you just got to come out and, you know, like, do these kinds of things.
And the thing is with the exercise, it's really best if you can get into the habit, like going into fall, if you have like a strong exercise habit, because otherwise you can start to feel like a little lazy and homebody-ish in the winter. The better if you already have like a really strong habit going and you can just like ride that momentum through the winter.
Yes. Yeah, you will feel a lot better if you have kind of a set workout regimen that you like to do every day. If not, implement one. On the flip side, let yourself off the hook if you want to stay home and be lazy all day. And I'm not talking just in the summer, I'm talking about in the rainy days, right?
Well, yeah, in the summer, like on a sunny day in July, it feels weird to just stay home in your pajamas all day.
Yeah, you're gonna be, but I've probably done it. But feel free to let yourself off the hook, you know, in the fall, in the winter, just to be a little lazy. Get out a puzzle. I can't wait until my kids are old enough to do puzzles, but we do have some that are like, what, 50 to 100 piece puzzles. They will do that, at least for a while.
Yeah, I do think like this is the chance to slow down. Like life is busy. In the summertime, it's kind of crazy with activities and just events and get-togethers. Around November, people start to slow down. And this last weekend was actually really nice. We had no plans, no birthday parties, no soccer for the first time in quite a while. And it was really nice to just like take it easy, slow down, bake cookies in the morning. We went for a bike ride, but so you don't have to work out all the time. This is also your chance to like slow down, let yourself off the hook.
Yeah, and that is one thing that I like about Portland too. It is already just a little bit slower paced city, especially if you're coming from San Diego, Los Angeles, the Bay Area. It's just a much more slowed down pace of life.
Okay, just a few more. So find an indoor third place. Have you heard about this concept? A third place being somewhere that you can go and connect with people that isn't home or work.
Yes.
So this has become sort of popular in the zeitgeist right now as more and more people are talking about loneliness and people feeling isolated and that need to have somewhere to go where everybody knows your name, right? I'm so like dating myself, but it could be a tennis club or church, or, you know, there's like so many different things. You have to like dig deep and see what interests you. But I think it does go a long way to have somewhere to go when it's cold and rainy that gets you out of the house and around other people.
Absolutely. I mean, one of my favorite things that we started picking up last year in the fall was going to the Stafford Club. And there's tons of different athletic clubs or tennis clubs, you know, around the Portland area, a ton of them. And they are so valuable to have, especially if they have babysitting activities there, which this one does. So, you know, up to 2 hours a day, you can drop the kids off and they love it. And they have a little indoor outdoor space to do and, you know, little art activities. And then you can go work in the cafe or, you know, go get a little workout in. I mean, it really is very, very helpful.
And I almost never go there without seeing someone I know just from town. I saw a mom I know this last weekend. I ran into a client of ours. And it like takes no effort to run into people that you know. You don't have to make plans ahead of time. It's just that third place where there are going to be other people.
Absolutely, yeah. Just kind of enhances that community feel.
It could be a country club. It could be, you know, there are a lot of different options, but find what it is for you.
And next, plan a trip in the winter. So, you know, my big recommendation is, say, in end of January, February, plan like a week-long trip to somewhere sunny with good weather, whether it's Southern California, Hawaii, you know, Mexico, somewhere where it's going to be nice and warm, and it really, really breaks it up. I mean, and this is, you know, I didn't invent this tip. This is something that I learned from locals here that have grown up here and lived here a long time. You know, notice if you move here, a lot of people make trips out, usually in the February time, because it really just breaks up, because you got all the holidays, you know, from Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, and then after a few weeks, go somewhere fun, go somewhere, you know, nice and sunny for a good long week. And then when you come back, spring is right around the corner, and it gives you that good just little invigoration of, you know, summertime. Then you can really appreciate, you know, getting through the rest of the winter weather.
It's funny, I was gonna say, like, I don't have a need to travel in the fall because I'm feeling so festive and I'm into it, but I'm actually going to Florida tomorrow. But I really don't have a need to travel somewhere sunny in the fall because I'm so into like the season and it feels fresh and new to be cozy. But last winter in February, we went to Southern California, and I remember saying to you when we got back, like, I think I'm gonna make it through the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay.
And that's the first time you'd said that, I think, in the 4 years we had been here.
It's also the first time we made the trip.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
So, you know, do all the normal things, like get a cozy blanket, drink more tea and coffee, light more candles. You can even get like a happy light. I have one. I haven't broken it out this season yet.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You know, they have a happy light that gives you that like bright light in your eyes first thing in the morning. And it really is supposed to help with seasonal affective disorder.
If you want a link to that light, go ahead and make a comment down below and I'll have her throw that in there.
And really just rest up and slow down and remember that the sunny season is coming and that above the clouds, blue sky goes on forever and ever in every direction. That's what I remind myself of.
That is true. And you can usually see little spots of it, although I don't really right now. Well, hey guys, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you have, stay tuned for the next one coming up right now.